Do you use a thesaurus?
All the time.
Do you really?
I'm my own AI.
Do you use a
like letting
paper
ChatGPT
one,
write
or
shit
do you look it up online?
No, online.
Okay.
I mean, just because I'm writing a letter or an email, and I need a word. I need a word with a little more pop. So it's just real easy. I just go like scrotum synonym.
Actually,
synonym, not cinnamon, because I know how you like your scrotum pastries, cinnamon and sugar. Synonym, meaning the same.
Do you feel because you're speaking to people in the medical profession that they're intelligent, that you have to sound more intelligent?
No, just in general life, I need to sound more intelligent.
Well, I think you do pretty good for you.
Pretty well. Thanks, Mark.
Yeah, always start off a podcast with a little animosity.
I feel fine. It's you. It's not me. It's you. What were you looking at?
I just
I told you you saw an angel. Space. You were just like staring at his face. I'm like, oh no. I know I have a mouse in my house, but do I now have an angel too? So my wife spotted a mouse yesterday, and she sent me a text, and I didn't see it. And apparently she thought she had locked it up, and a cupboard got out. And then it tripped my trap and ate all the peanut butter. So now it's on. Now it's personal. Well, I feel confident. I'm pretty confident it'll make an appearance here tonight, because I think if they seem to like vibration or whatever we're down here, they like coming around.
Good podcasts. Maybe they're
podcast aficionados. Well, we keep killing them, so I don't know if it's generational or not. But.
Are we killing them with the podcasts because we're so good?
Comedy. That's a comedic term. Synonym for performing well is killing.
So what are they listening to if the mice are listening to the podcast? Who are you and why?
Did you eat a pot brownie earlier today? Because I had two. No. That's a very deep question, Mark. What do you think? What's the purpose of this exercise?
The purpose of this exercise, the Ascertainers, is to make people's lives a little more enjoyable. We talk about whatever we talk about, but we do it in a lighthearted way. We might disagree about some things, but we're not disagreeable.
Well, that sounds good.
Well, thank you.
But that's not what you're going to hear for the next 40 minutes.
Well, you might hear a punch or two.
We're going to tear each other apart.
Hi, I'm Mark, and my great partner is Jim.
It's not going to work. Hi. Welcome. Sit back, relax. We just cracked a beer. You could crack a hot cup of coffee if it's morning, a hot cup of coffee if it's night. If you don't drink, don't crack a beer, but crack something. Crack a smile.
A Bang energy drink.
Bang energy? You know what? That's what you drink? Is that what Steve drinks?
Monster. Your brother, Steve.
He drinks he's not brand loyal. He's loyal to the amount of caffeine or taurine or whatever is in it. And his son, who also got off the sauce, has a big Monster. I won't call it a habit, but he's often seen with a Monster in hand. And I'm guessing he buys them by the pallet, because otherwise he's just going to go broke buying Monsters at $3 a crack.
Yeah, they're always on sale somewhere.
Big sale on Brazilian waxes, speaking of that, at the salon, $20 a crack. No? All right, well, here's where we are. Zing, bang. We try to make them laugh. Make them laugh. Make them laugh. Here we are. We thought we kind of came in tonight's episode after listening to last week's, or the one that came out last week, and we felt kind of good about it. So we thought we would try to just
roll the dice,
kind of go with the flow and see what happens. Although historically, over 90 plus podcasts, we have learned never works. So we'll just see what we come up with here.
Well, the Ascertainers know how to go with the flow.
We should be sponsored by Want me to say it?
Yes.
Tampax.
I was thinking because we were at corporate, but
but you can't go with the flow to Newt's. That's I
never thought of that. I guess I'm not.
That's where I was going with that.
Childish. We were talking about high school lunches at our sponsor tonight.
At corporate, you could say them. You could say it out loud.
So that's where I thought maybe you were thinking back to your child.
Go with the flow.
Time.
Had something to do with my childhood lunches.
It's like the hockey period. What do something like that?
What do Russian women and hockey? What do Russian goalies? that has to be cut. And we're back.
We never laughed.
I'd like to think Mark edited that last one out because that was in poor taste. And that's just not us. That's not our brand. We're very tasteful normally. Speaking of tasteful or tasty, we did go to Newt's tonight, as we typically do. Very tough parking spot tonight. It was booming.
Packed.
We got lucky that a couple people left right before we did to get us a spot at the bar. And from there, just true bliss. If you don't count the pull tabs, true bliss. So,
but we didn't lose a lot, which is good for us.
Technically, it was $80, though, between the two of us, so 40 each. I don't know if you've ever done math. I'm doing it with new math, so it's going to take me about a half an hour. But, yeah, but everybody around us was winning, so, yay, good for them.
But it was nice that we all had a lovely burger tonight at Newt's.
What did you have, Mark?
I had the Popper with a Beyond Burger.
You got to use the whole name, not just the,
Don't know the full name.
Jalapeno Popper Burger, but you just said the Popper.
That's all I know.
That could be a lot of things. That could be like the thing on the game of Sorry, in the middle where you push it in and...
Is that called the Popper?
Roll the dice. You know what I'm talking about.
I do, but I didn't know that had a name.
I was going to say that would not be nutritious or delicious. So you're the Jalapeno Popper Burger. That's two. I'm sorry.
Well, I don't bring my glasses, and I don't open up the menu because I can't read it without my glasses on. So I just say what I know she'll understand.
Okay. I'm looking something
I'm talking about Sarah, our favorite waitress or bartender there, who takes very good care of us.
Sarah's great. We like Sarah, and Sarah tolerates us, so it works out great.
And we had fresh popcorn.
I just found it on my phone. I had to verify it before bringing this up. So let's finish up on Newt's, though. I had the San Diego Smash Burger. It's a pretty good burger, kids. I advise you cut it in half. You put it in your non-dominant hand. That way you could talk and wipe your mouth with your dominant hand. And you only get one hand to clean off because it's got some stuff. It's got the old aioli. It's got a little aioli going.
Which he got reprimanded tonight for talking too much. It was like being in school again.
Oh, because we weren't drinking enough.
What's this wee stuff? Don't lump me in with you.
I felt like you were trying to keep pace with me. I think you usually drink more, but your back hurts. But you don't act like a guy with a sore back. What's going on? Talk to me.
I don't want to.
Were you cured by a Newt's fake meat?
Maybe that was it.
Got a sore back, hips, or pelvis? Go to Newt's. Have a Beyond Burger of your choice. You know they can make this. I think is a selling point for Newt's. So people might not know is that you can take any of their signature burgers, and there are a plenty. There's probably 15 of them, and you can just substitute a Beyond
Burger.
Beef. Is it Beyond Burger patty? So, like when you first started getting the Beyond thing, you would get like the most basic burger because that's
what they had was the Beyond Burger, basic burger. Like
it was, you know who it was? It was Sarah. She goes, you can get that on anything.
Bing! The light bulb goes off.
Explosion went off over Mark's head, and everything got better from that day. Thanks,
I could be
Sarah.
like real people.
Yeah. Oh no, you have to sit over there. But really, we'll get you any kind. So yes, Newt, Sarah, still Corey. I'm going to start calling him Bigfoot because I haven't seen him in the longest time. I haven't seen Bigfoot either. You get what I'm going. It's not like his feet are big or nothing. Although, I mean, I've never looked down. Maybe he prides himself on his big feet, and he'd be like, "Oh, that was thoughtful. Thanks, Jim." Or it's like, "Hey, buddy, I'm self-conscious about my feet. I'm going to kick the shit out of you with these giant things, appendages, phalanges."
I don't think he thinks any of those, but
phalanges. Thesaurus, look it up. Do you know what phalanges is?
Phalanges? Yes.
Phalanges. It's like
fingers.
I thought it was like a burrito. But it's deep fried first.
It's like the cheese hanging off the phalanges of the burrito.
No, not that funny. I just verified on my phone. There's a big. Go to Newt's. Let's wrap it up because I don't want to get. Sometimes I get distracted during the Newt's promo. Newt's lovely burgers. That's their 2025 Ascertainers theme. It seems to be working because that place was packed tonight.
Thank you, Alex.
Go there. Yes, Alex D. Know him well. Known him his whole life. There is a benefit for those. I don't know when this is going to come out, but recently and early in 2025, there were some rather devastating fires occurring in the Los Angeles area. And it just, I mean, we could go on and on about all this, even though we're not political, but they're having a benefit concert. And one of the bands that's going to be playing at this, there's like Lady Gaga and a couple other guys. Hang on, I'll tell you who they are. And then on the kind of the, whatever, the others, Billie Eilish, Katy Perry, Lady Gaga. So all three of those are among the artists headlining a benefit concert called Fire Aid later this month in an effort to help those affected by the Southern California wildfires. I'd like to talk to the PR person for this event. Other acts will include Earth, Wind, and Fire. Gracie, should I stop there? Yeah. What? I mean, I like their music as much as the next guy. I mean, I do remember the 17th of September, but ouch. Like, how are they going to be greeted? Earth, Wind, and Fire, everybody. Ooh, it's your fault. Why? It's by Nancy Kerrigan. Why? I'm working on that. Why? Anybody know who Nancy Kerrigan is? We're your beaten figure skater leader, the Ascertainers.
Yeah, if you want any references to the 1990s, we're your people.
I think Chris said tonight that was 30 years ago. Is that possible?
It was.
Wow.
Was that your Owen Wilson?
Wow. Owen Wilson just playing the same guy in every role. I have a couple other items. Toast points. We talked about toast points. And that also, I thought we kind of milked that pretty hard in the pretty thoroughly. Thank you. In the previous episode that was, is this one coming out next week, do you think?
Good.
Okay, well, potentially
Who
it was
knows?
last week's episode. But toast points is like working on the likes, people, is a form of toast that is served with, a nice appetizer. It's not, you don't just call it toast. They call it toast points because they cut it into like little triangles. There's a point on it, Mark. I'm not sure if you're familiar. But I thought also that could make a great name for like a rewards program. Oh, did you get your toast points? Give me your phone number and I'll make sure you get entered for your toast points.
Was it like if you eat enough Pop-Tarts, you get toast points? Or
Yeah, it'd be like if there was a toast restaurant. I mean, this could happen. And Johnny's House of Toast, Hut.
Cane's made it. Oh my goodness!
Excellent point. Wow, think if they started serving toast points, they could charge double. All you gotta do is give a kid with a dream a knife, and there you go, $4 extra, kid. I had a couple other things. What do you want to talk about? You had some areas.
Are we doing that? Yeah, we can do that. You were right about the Green Death being about alcohol content.
Oh, in the green bottles or just special export?
Well, it goes with special X, but I think that's why the Moosehead affected me. Because the 3.2 and 6.0 back when we were growing up was the maximum. But most of the beers were way lower than that. But the Moosehead might have been close.
6% the maximum?
That was the maximum. When they said 6% alcohol, that's the maximum it could be.
Up to 6%.
Correct.
Because that's what I remember reading on the top. And by the way, for people not in Minnesota, there used to be a thing called 3-2 beer.
I think it's still around.
But it's a dying.
Yes, I think we're the last state.
It's hard to break even. Like if you have to like redo your line to just throw in a couple of cases of 3-2 beer. But what that meant is that it contained less than 3.2% alcohol by volume or whatever. And it was our state is so different than a lot of other states. So in Minnesota, if you want to go buy a case of beer, okay, you would go to a case of strong beer or more than 3.2% alcohol or up to 6% alcohol. You would have to go to a liquor store. And a liquor store is a place where they serve beer, sell beer, wine, and distilled spirits. You could buy beer only. Okay, if you went into a grocery store, you would only be able to buy of those three selections, beer, wine, and distilled spirits. You could buy beer, but it's like shitty beer. It's called 3.2 beer, 3.2%, up to 3.2%.
I think
alcohol.
some wines you could buy also, but I don't know the rules.
Those might be the non-alcoholic, like the shit you give kids on New Year's Eve.
Okay.
They make 3.2 wine?
Less alcohol.
Gatorade?
Like, was champagne kind of less?
Champagne wasn't dicking around, dude. That was beer and wine combined.
Oh, okay. So that was a high.
Yeah, that was not, you don't drink that for the taste.
Was that nationally sold? Champagne teeth?
I don't know. All I know is when I used to be a kid and collected beer cans, you'd take a sniff of one of those and be like, woo.
It was kind of like a wine cooler.
Mm-hmm.
What was a terrible?
It had a wine in it. I'm going to look that up. Champagne. It was the champagne of beers. Yeah, I don't think, you didn't see champagne served at some of the higher end. In fact, I don't know if a lot of champagnes made it out of the paper bag. I think it was sold in a lot of 40-ounce situations.
Yeah, but if you put it in like a glass bowl of ice and put the bottles in there, wouldn't it look kind of fancy?
Classy, like, yes, of course.
And formaldehyde is a byproduct of a lot of beers, depending on how you brew it.
Well, your body produces formaldehyde while you, what's the word? Process alcohol. What's that called?
I have no idea.
Thesaurus. Siri. Where's my AI assistant? Randy. Detoxify. You detox. And I think that formaldehyde, that's why you get stinky farts. Some people do, not me. Mine smell like what music would sound like if you were deaf.
But you went into a big story about red ales.
Yes.
Which Killian's was one of my favorites. That brought up a story that I talked about, Red Horse beer in the Philippines, where it was. No, it was just, like I said, it was a beer that no quality control. So some had a lot of alcohol content, some had very little. It was just hit or miss. What came off the line?
See, that's.
But I don't explain my stories well. And I just went into it, and it just was like, you were totally lost. Why are you bringing that up?
What?
What'd
you say about you not doing stories well? Come on, Mark. You're just be too hard on yourself.
Someone has to be.
You can't be hard on yourself without.
Oh.
Champagne, labeled as poor man's champagne, is actually a type of malt liquor brewed with wine yeasts.
Wow.
That's how you get home, kids.
What did I do with my glasses?
I haven't seen them on you yet today.
I just had them on.
They're not on your head. They're not on your shirt. Are they on your soundboard thing?
I don't know where.
That's pretty weird. Well, we can,
Oh, here I found it.
All right. Any other? I'm going to mix in one of mine. So we have a new president coming up. Of course, we're not political, but they are like going through the whatever they do in the Senate. What do they call those people? His cabinet?
Yes.
So like his secretary of this, secretary. Actually, it doesn't have to do with that, but because of the change of, I've been watching a lot of news and listened to a lot of news, and I have ascertained. Thank
wow.
you. I feel like I can ascertain a little better than most, but I would wager big money, that I could tell a person's party, a female voice, I can tell what party they represent based on their speaking tone and pattern with 85% accuracy. And it sucks. It's the worst because, well, not going to tip my hand here, but it's Republicans now are getting all the airtime because Trump's coming in, right? Most Republican women in an elected position or that comment on, like that do the news for that shit. At the end of the day, they kind of sound like they have a burp that they can't, it's not quite there yet. They have this fucking weird tone. I think Sarah Palin started, I've said this before, where it's just, God, they just sound fucking miserable. They sound like they need a attitude adjustment.
No last names, but Sarah P.
No last names. Oh yeah. Well, we know a lot of Sarahs on this podcast, so.
Oh, that's true.
Her name was Sarah. No last names. She was the governor, or no, was she the mayor of some
No, she was governor of Alaska.
She was actually governor. Okay. Well, so that almost counts. But anyhow.
I don't notice that, and you've brought that up before. I don't notice it. I do hear some on the other side.
They just sound mad. They sound fucking pissed.
Not really angry, but more just, what's that Saturday Night Live?
Al Franken?
Was it Pat? That's
Debbie Downer.
Yeah.
No, was it Debbie Downer? Well, there was Pat, the androgynous person.
I think it was Pat. There
was also somebody at a party. It was Rachel, played by Rachel Dratch, and it would be like people like, oh yeah, the bullfighting. Oh, we went to Spain. We saw this. And it's like, and then everyone's having a good time. She goes, bullfighting is the second leading cause of death besides the butchering industry. So I don't know what.
I think you're correct.
It might have been Debbie Downer, but that just sounds too, well, and again, there were certain years for SNL were a little off.
Not everyone can come up with great names like the Ascertainers.
Right. I like how it sounded there. It sounded a little vibrato. Right.
The Thesaurus is working hard tonight.
I will say this. I think that in terms of politics, that
we're not political, Pat?
I've always said, no, this is just politics in general, that the pendulum tends to like, ding, the like jar. The pendulum, it seems like when there's a good idea, people go a little too far on that idea. And then it gets to the point where it's either kind of a bad idea or people are just sick of it. So then, instead of it just stopping at a good thing, people ask for too much, and then the pendulum swings the other way. And that's why we always have Democrat for 8 years, a Republican and then all the great part about our political system, the way our government is designed, is the different intervals at which people are elected. 6 years for senators, 2 years for representatives, 4 years for president, forever for Supreme Court justice. That they could work on that. We got some old fucking judges, but I think right now we're right. The pendulum is like right at the bottom. You know what I mean? It's swinging, so it was pretty far to the left. That's what they call, the Democrats sit on the left side of the room, I guess, when you're facing the stage left.
Yes. No, it's stage right.
So they sit stage right, but they call them left. They call it the left because I think as you're walking into the room...
If you're looking up at the speaker.
Yes, they're on the left side. So, wow, is it over yet? Anyway, so we are in the process of the pendulum swinging toward the right. Now, the key is if these idiots that are now in power don't realize what Jim, your number 2 ascertainer, can figure out just by sitting on his couch, flicking the lint out of his belly button, that don't go too far, guys, because then everyone will hate you, and then it's going to swing back the other way. Just take it right to where you're getting shit done. But I think, like, right now, people are almost, there's the people that are about ready to, take up arms because they're so mad at the result of the election. But there's a lot of, like, people in the media and in the kind of the, whatever you would call it, like certain celebrities and business people in that are like, this Donald Trump, he doesn't seem that bad, and it's like, okay, don't fuck it up. So there's my Ascertainers episode number 96, I believe this will be by the time it comes out. There you heard it. Any branch or any political leaning, when you get in power, don't overdo it. Just do it.
If I can add to that, in my lifetime, every president that has done a second term has become more centralist, and they got more stuff done when they did that.
This is an interesting one because other than Grover Cleveland, he's had it's a non-consecutive second term. So So it's not like a traditional second term.
Well, I was talking about
he's already got all his people. He's got to build it from scratch again.
He's not a right-wing person.
He used to be a Democrat. I don't know. People have a lot. We're getting fairly political right now, so we'll back away. But I think that...
Back away from the mic, Jim. Back away.
Joel, get off the babysitter. I think that...
risky business.
Yes.
I have to throw those out because sometimes other people don't watch movies like we do and make the references.
Joel, for God's sakes, get off the babysitter. Good movie. We talked about that earlier tonight at Newt's, in fact. So, yes.
I do have to go on, get away from all this political talk.
Yes.
Bob Uecker passed away.
Oh, I mean, at age 90, I hope nobody was like, why, God, why?
Other than family members, I'm sorry for your loss.
90's a good run. I think he broadcast last year.
He did.
And when he signed off, you could kind of tell, yeah, this might be it. Because I think the Brewers were eliminated or something, and it was like the 162nd game, and, he had a little emotion in there. But that's an American treasure right there.
When he was on Johnny Carson, he was so quick, and the light beer commercials were fantastic. He was good. He just fell into it so quickly. And I was going to say that you, Jim, are the same way on this podcast.
Bad at baseball? I don't know. He was a catcher, wasn't he?
He was a catcher.
Yeah.
But you fell into this, and you're very good at it. And carrying someone like myself that shouldn't be on microphone.
My doctor had the same message for me. Bob Uecker died. Jim, I want to talk to you about death. Yes.
Just around the corner.
He had some blockages, just like you. Routinely funny. Have you been on the Tonight Show lately, Jim? No. Well, you don't have that in common then. But his wit was something else. And do you know who he would hang out with? Norm Macdonald.
Wow.
They were friends. So Norm talks about Bob Uecker stories and stuff, and they are rich. But can you imagine two funner guys to hang out with?
Oh, no.
I would just put tape on my mouth and try not to give him any ammunition, to turn on me. But, man, so did I send this to you? I think I sent it to my kid. We trade like these little reels or whatever. That's how I know he's like not been thrown into a dumpster in Manhattan. But it was him at like the Hall of Fame. I don't know if he's in the Broadcasters Hall of Fame or whatever, but you could see it was a Hall of Fame thing behind him. And he talked about, he goes, when I was a kid, he goes, first got into sports, my dad, he got me a football, and I'm doing it. I'll post it. I caught myself. Anyway, long and the short of it is,
Jim is learning.
He's like AI, except really A. Emphasis on the A. I will post it. And I did learn, and this is very upsetting to me, that when we put live links on the write-up, that if you listen to us on iHeartRadio, maybe check your phone. You can't click there's no link there.
Oh,
so
I did.
In our show, when we have it, like if you look up, it's episode 92, it's about whatever, and then you can actually see there's like a description and says what kind of things we covered. And then below that, we say get a hold of us at the Ascertainers at gmail.com, which I still recommend. And then usually a hashtag Newts and a hashtag a couple other stuff that we talked about. And then I've been putting in little YouTube links or links for YouTube videos that are things that we talked about or referenced or music that we talked about. And I thought last week's was 2 weeks ago was pretty good because we had all the different projects that the Fiji guests were involved in, like it or not. But I went to iHeart, and iHeart, you can't do that. So if you want to see
maybe it's on the free iHeart. Maybe if you pay for iHeart.
If you're on iHeart, you're doing it for free.
No matter what?
I don't know. I just assume everyone's like me. But I go on the free Spotify. So if you see a link that you're like, oh, I really wish I could see this, just go to Spotify and check it out because Spotify's got live links.
Listen to the whole episode, take notes, and then look it up.
The Ascertainers.
Is that hard?
Making your life more hard by the minute. We better get the radio game in then, baby.
Let's do it.
I think I had one other thing. While you're... Also, I think you could hear the earbuds in...
We heard the song in the background.
What is the radio game, Mark? Do you want me to tell it, or do you want to?
No, let's not punish anybody and just do it.
All right. We're gonna.
We're gonna pick 4 bands, and then
we'll do it like in the Newt's promo. We're gonna each pick 4 bands.
Of the 4 bands, we're gonna have 2 legacy bands, ones you hear all the time, and some that are lesser known.
Yep. And then we are going to, in secret, because we don't want to get sued for everything we got, and it's plenty. We will listen. Mark's got this cool little $5. How much you pay for that? Just so,
I don't want to say on the.
I don't want to say. I don't want to like overhype it, but it looks like to be about a $5. If it's $3 radio, we could say that too.
No, it's. I think with tax, it was almost $10.
Called $10 radio.
Thank you.
I think you overpaid.
Wow.
Just saying.
I think it's the earphones that you're listening on that are bad, not the radio.
They are earbuds, and Have you seen that movie? It's a dog that can play basketball.
I have.
Earbud.
I only see 3 because that's my favorite. The first 2 are terrible.
We got distracted again, didn't we? Are we still in the Newt's promo? Anyhow, we will, after listing our bands, we will listen to a radio station in the Minneapolis-St. Paul, Minnesota market, KQ92, and they've been playing the same stuff since we were kids. And if someone's right, they will take home, well, we have a pot that we've, I left my wallet upstairs. We have a pot that we put $1 in each week, and it's up to $72 or $74 now, one or the other. We monetize the radio game for when a guest comes on. We hope that a guest will win it. But if Mark or I wins it, I'm going to do it without saying the thing. I'm going to do it without saying the thing about me winning last. Blew it.
Good job.
Not that long ago. It was in 2024, though, so we have not had a 2025 winner.
It's been a year ago.
If Mark or I win, we probably won't take all the money. We might take a trophy, though, $1 or so out of it. How we doing?
I'm actually making it harder on myself by naming songs because Paul from Fiji, one of the people that helped do our intro music, came up with, when he showed up, he named songs.
You've done that from time to time, though.
I'm a 2-time winner, so I don't need to win again. So
you're a fellow 2-time winner, yeah.
I was the first 2-time winner.
I'm the most recent. All right. Mine, I have a theme, too. It's just bands that start with the letter S. So that's as deep as I went. I'm going to start.
Go ahead.
I'm going to go
Jimmy Fallon?
Oh, it's actually Springsteen. Starts with an S, but Bruce starts with a B.
No, it doesn't. It's always Bruce.
Bruce, okay, well then I don't have a theme. Bruce Springsteen and Stevie Nicks, which gives me, yep. Did you pick her too?
I did, but mine's different.
Okay, well go ahead, Lindsey Buckingham.
Well, then I'll go with my off the beaten path. I'm going with Stevie Nicks, Don Henley, Leather and Lace.
I would still get that, because Stevie Nicks, it's in her catalog.
Is that a Stevie Nicks song to you or a Don Henley song to you?
I don't care what. I see what you're doing. Is Fleetwood Mac a Stevie Nicks? No, but if Fleetwood Mac comes on, I'm getting credit for Stevie Nicks.
No, I understand that, but I'm just saying when you listen to that song,
it's them together. So I see the argument. If it's that song, I'll give you $100 out of my pocket right now. I'll show. Oh, I left my wallet upstairs. So what are you doing?
I'm doing Stevie Nicks and Don Henley, Leather and Lace. Only that song.
And what else?
The Byrds. Wasn't Born to Follow.
Okay.
Which is a great tune. It's like a deeper cut. Which XM Sirius is great for that.
Well.
Listening to songs you would never listen to before.
The Byrds. All right. My next 2 are... Oh, we were trying to... You said you wanted to expand in the radio game a little bit more. All we're doing is fighting. Fight.
Let's keep it going.
Mark's balled up his fist.
Let's keep it going.
And I don't know. I don't like the way he's doing with it. Geez, Mark, are you mad or are you happy? I can't tell from that. I'm going with Scandal with Patti Smythe. Or is it Smith? And Survivor. Eye of the Tiger.
I'll go with David Bowie. Fame. When I hear that song, it reminds me of something, but I don't know what. A Good Time. For some reason, I was listening to that song during...
I bet it's the part where it says, is it any wonder that I reject your breast, except the other way around.
Ouch.
Babe.
And Deep Purple.
Babe. Deep Purple.
My Woman from Tokyo,
She makes me feel.
which I love. Or Space Truckin', which you think is better.
Come on.
Space
Let's
Truckin'?
go Space Truckin'. Come on.
on.
Yes.
Can you
Did
pick
you-
a favorite of those two?
Yeah. Space Truckin'. For sure. That's one of my favorite Deep Purple songs. Have you heard Richie Blackmore say that the opening riff from Smoke on the Water, which everybody has heard. Should we do the radio game and then let's do the radio game and then I'll tell the story.
Go ahead.
Foghat. Oh, what a great band.
Which
Slow
song?
Ride. Slow Ride.
It's only two.
Son of a gun. Yeah, what Fool for the City and
Slow
I think they
Ride.
had one other one that made it, but it wasn't nearly as popular as the other two. Son of a bitch. Each of us have had Foghat on the list
Oh,
before.
yeah.
Classic KQ song. Well, good for nobody. Pot grows. No winner of the radio game. So, since we're talking radio game, we can stay on music. I heard a Richie Blackmore interview. Now, I don't know if it was a goof or not, but the opening riff to Smoke on the Water is ga 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 ga. He said that he re-engineered a Bach the da 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 and played it backwards. Da, 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 da. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I buy it or not, but it was plausible when I heard it. Plausible. Look it up. That means when a bunch of people clap.
He has his Thesaurus out here.
There's a dinosaur in here? Oh, have you seen the mouse? We have a mouse in my house, and I haven't seen it yet. It's twice during our 90, nearly 100 podcasts, a mouse has made an appearance, and then I get it the next day.
Going back to music, Ray Manzarek says that a lot of his piano riffs are taken from classic music. He just changes it a little bit.
I can immediately hear Light My Fire and can see that as being some kind of classical music. Tchaikovsky? Is it Tchaikovsky? The
hockey player?
Alexander with a K, two Z's, a winger for the. Oh, you literally just. I mean, I have to take this bait here. We could talk about how because I'm so torn. We only have so much time left, and I can either throw in a Rush reference. Oops, too late. That what is the something overture of whatever by I think it's Tchaikovsky. It goes sorry.
Perfect.
But at the end of side 1 of 2112, they incorporate that. I hate to say riff. I don't think Tchaikovsky thought he was riffing, but yes, it's there. I'll play it for you later. I'll put it in the links. Also, you just brought up hockey players and how Tchaikovsky could be I heard today that there is a Gordie Howe Bridge. The bridge that connects the Upper Peninsula to Canada is the Gordie Howe Bridge. How effing cool is that? I love it. But you know what? There's hardly any. So I can think of a few Gords. There's Gord Downey of a band called the Tragically Hip, but he's not a Canadian band. It's a probably the least known of these Gords. There's Gordon Sumner, also known as a guy named Sting, Gordon Ramsay, Gordon Lightfoot, and of course Gordon Howe went by Gordy.
When's
the last time you saw a Gordy? When's the last time you saw a kid named Gordon?
With the broadcaster.
Extinct.
Wasn't there a broadcaster, Gordon?
I don't know.
I'm thinking Curt Gowdy. I'm sorry.
Close enough. I'm going to give it to you. Can you spell Gordy out of any of those? He's missing a D. Oh, Gowdy. Okay, I'll give it to you because Kurt Gowdy?
Curt Gowdy.
Are you sure? Okay.
I'm not sure.
Let's say it is. It was a K or a C. No, there's no Kurts. When's the last time you saw a kid named fucking Kurt? I knew 5 Kurts growing up.
The announcer now, Curt
Gowdy?
No, High Street or whatever.
That's Craig.
No, it's not.
Craig Herbstreit. Oh, that's Kirk. Like Curtis. How'd I swing? How'd I feign? What's the word when you're...
You know what you should do is wipe off the microphone after that.
Yeah, it's got a little...
Song Sung Blue from Neil Diamond is from Mozart Concerto number 21.
Song Sung Blue, everybody knows one. Neil Diamond. Was he in the Doors?
No, but that was taken from a classical song. It was from Mozart Concerto number 21.
21, 22, whatever it took. All right, I'm going to defend you here. You can spell Gordy, but not Gordon with Curt Gowdy. Or even Kirk Gowdy. Gowdy, that sounds like a guy who eats too much meat and his toes hurt. He's got a little...
Right.
How you feeling? A little gouty. Mark would know. He don't eat that red meat. I'm done. What's that now? Curt Gowdy. He's got no Gordon. He's missing an N for Gordon, but you can spell Gordy.
Well, he's from Wyoming.
Really?
Green River, Wyoming. And there's Curt Gowdy National Park there. I lived in Wyoming for a little bit, so that's the only reason I remember Curt Gowdy. Even though he was a broadcaster for how many years?
Which one is Curt Gowdy? Is he the guy that was the Dodgers announcer? That was Vin Scully. Nice name, by the way. You don't see many Vins.
He did the Boston Red Sox. Curt Gowdy.
What about Keith Jackson? I'm trying to think of all the famous announcers. With Vin Scully, apparently, I know a guy that does a good Vin Scully imitation. And Darryl Strawberry was pitching against the Dodgers. And he goes...
On cocaine.
And as a matter of fact, he does like strawberries. But said in a Vin Scully tone is quite entertaining. So
was that Strawberry that was? Or is it Dwight Gooden that was?
Yes.
Both?
Yes, absolutely. Probably Vin Scully, too, for all we know.
You can get a hold of us at TheAscertainers@gmail.com or... What is it, text or email us on the platforms?
On most of the platforms.
You did it one time.
I did. And honestly, I said, pretty good podcast, but Mark's got to go. And didn't sign it. Shirts have been ordered. So if you've been a guest or you have an attachment to the Ascertainers.
Sorry.
Or if you just want a shirt. If you want a shirt, for the first 3 emails that we get for people that haven't been a guest already, because they're getting one anyway, right? So for the first 3 listeners, and there's a couple other people I think are on the list. So whatever, it doesn't matter, because I'm thinking of one. We have a list. Pat K, you don't gotta, but if you want to, then if Pat goes, it'll be the first 4 people that email us, because Pat's getting one anyway, because he's been a emailer. So email us at theascertainers@gmail.com. Give us your shirt size, and you have to give us like where we can send the shirt. Probably a P.O. box would be best because you don't want us showing up at your house. We'll put it in the mail. We won't stop by.
And there's a little
hey, what you cooking?
Place on any platform you listen to us on. And that will count also.
Yeah, a lot of platforms have a little link where you can text us. And I don't know if it works on every platform though. So
we do have a Facebook page, even if you say something there funny and not hurtful.
We got shirts to move, people. We have a few extra. If you're a small, that would help. Just kidding. We got all sizes. We have extra large and small. That's what we got left. Got any item at Kohl's that you want to buy.
Thanks for listening.
Oh.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.